Welcome back, everybody, to this session of The Crown of Autumn. We last left our companions. Thurban was in the throes of a maddened fever dream. He's been asleep for 3 days, and Gunnar has stood vigil over him while scouting the rest of the crypt, staying within earshot to hear his rhythmic breathing and his uh, fevered mumblings, wondering what kind of horror he could possibly be experiencing in the lands of Morpheus. But as the stage curtains open, we see Gunnar waking from a, we would like to assume, a night's rest. We've been within this. At this time, we assume it's a crypt. This fortified crypt beneath a mountain village on a trade highway that goes up and down over the the Great Divide Mountains there. And what do we see of Gunnar? Would you describe your character for us?
Gunnar is, of course, a 21-year-old Ithnikai barbarian who is built like the proverbial shithouse and is massively muscled. In this particular case, he's dressed for the cold and keeps his adventuring gear nearby. His war sword is out and nearby his right hand. And as he awakes from however long that sleep was, he instantly remembers where he is, what the situation is, and just attunes himself to the sounds and just without stirring listens. One of Gunnar's higher skills is his awareness, and so he reaches out with his ability just to listen to the echoes, take note of his companion's breathing, and any types of sounds or senses that something's not right. Once he's satisfied that everything is sounding and feeling as normal as it is, as it were, he will quietly, still stealthily get up and make his way over to where his companion is sleeping, probably not too far away, and check to see if he's conscious, check to see if his breathing is normal. He would have ascertained that there was no type of first aid that he could apply to this. So he tries to keep him nourished and give him primarily water, tilting his head up and making sure he stays hydrated. And, in contemplation of what he should do if this situation doesn't remedy itself soon.
And we go to Thurban, who is still in the throes of his nightmarish dreamscape. Describe for us the nightmare that he is currently having.
At the moment, it's probably been the never-ending hellish cycle of these things. At the moment, though, Thurban is watching in almost like agonizing slow motion horror here, because to call it a time loop isn't correct, but it's like he's probably having almost like the same cycle of dreams happening here, especially over the last 3 days. At the moment, what he is seeing is he is poking his head out of the building that he was sleeping in, right as he sees Shion being killed. And this is different from when it happened, because when it happened, he was still stuck inside this building, could not do anything. But as this has kind of progressed and he sees it over and over and over again, it's one of those things of if he had the forethought, he could probably look over and actually see his sleeping form there or his unmoving form, but he is actually able to watch this happen. And inwardly, he's just saying, fuck, not this again. Not this again. How many times am I going to see this? But no, he's watching as Ukion, one of his other former compatriots, kills Shihan because they each think that the other is this thrice be damned Endukaga. And unfortunately, they all had been duped into, I guess, what could only be known as a mind game at this point, into thinking he was within easy reach to dispatch. Obviously, he was not. But yeah, he hears that sick sound of metal piercing through flesh and bone, scraping across fabric and metal. And then he would hear Ukion's cry once the illusion is dispelled. And that's probably the part that sticks with him the most, honestly, in all this is, yeah, you can watch someone get stabbed over and over again, but it's that ear-piercing, soul-screeching scream that will penetrate you until your literal dying days. And he knows at this point, like I said, at this point, he'd actually see himself running out the door. And then the stage would, the scene would kind of fade to black after that memory kind of floating away. And then next we would see is we would actually see him in the tunnel where he met the Pixies when they're on their way to the Astromancer. And in this one, he's kind of kept off guard because when this initially happened, nothing bad happened down this tunnel. He got hit on by a queen. He got told, you better come back. They all got kind of half threatened by these, things that were 3 inches big and carry swords and shields, but nothing actually happened. This time though, when he walks down, you couldn't step on the ground without stepping on a body. You couldn't look at a patch on the wall without seeing dried blood. The holes that the Pixies would actually come in and out of, or wherever they were coming from, was actually axed out, like someone went hunting for him. And this is going to kind of fade out, but what he'll see there in the last moments before this one fades out is he's going to catch a glimpse of glinting metal. And a female body that he would recognize all too much. And just would tumble into the darkness, and he gets tossed into another myriad of nightmarish horrors. Of course, the whole while, Gunnar watching him, he's tossing and turning in fever dream moans and has probably already drenched through the blanket and cloak he has on a number of times.
The last thing you hear from your fever dream is a woman's voice. You're not familiar with this voice. You've never met this woman before. It's a voice that unknown to your ear, but has despite its trepidation and horror in its tone, um, has a quality of sing song and laughter in her voice, but the tone and the words that you hear are not that. It is terror, it is defiance, and it's it's heart-wrenching. You hear the words, "No, you monster, you took my sister," and you jerk awake. As you come to, you bring your hands to your face, and the first thing you see are your fingers are black. As you are now here amongst the realm of the living, the two of you may proceed however you wish.
Gunnar just watches him and wants to see if this is more thrashing or if this is actual signs of consciousness. Mike, you're on mute.
You're muted, Mike.
Yeah, I know. It gave me the notification right before I went to hit it. Um, I'm guessing, like with most dreams that are horrific like that, the noise of that lady's voice are probably still echoing around in his head.
Oh yeah, you think she's
I,
probably here, and you look around for a woman, and all you see is Gunnar
I
and a
fucking hate when
dusty
that
crypt.
shit happens. Fucking hate that. But yeah, he'll kind of bolt upright, probably all fucking wrapped in his blanket and shit, and try and fucking fight that thing.
Oh, he's got you straight jacket up, like you can't go anywhere. It's
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your own good.
Well, he's thrashing against said binding, so to speak. Then not like aggressive, but just like the whole I need to go out there. Um, but what will happen is after a second, when he realizes he's not going anywhere, and he realizes like he'll see the stone, he'll probably still smell the decay, and he'll kind of like and not make it corny. It's not like quite cartoon level of it. Like I slowly stop, but it is one of those things of I can't move. What is going on? That's when he'll look down and he'll see himself kind of wrapped up, however Gunnar had it, and then he'll see his fingers. However, his hands are fucking tied up. He'll see his fingers, and Gunnar will just like see him deflate. Like he was full of vinegar and fight and feistiness, and he looked down at his hands, and you can almost hear the mental fuck. And he'll just kind of like shrink up on himself and look at this for a second, and then he'll finally look over to where Gunnar is, and just the face looks like the face of a man who has been through hell, but also like half broken. Like not quite there, but the spirit is definitely not where it should be. And in almost like a sterile tone of voice, he'll just be like, "How long was I out?"
Before I answer that, are you back?
Yes.
Are you back all the way?
Define all the way.
I don't know exactly how long it's been, but it's definitely been days.
We gotta get
You're
out of
gonna
here.
you're gonna need to eat. I've been able to give you some water and some what I could water down without choking you, but you're gonna need to eat before we do anything. We're safe here. I've been keeping watch for days, and there hasn't been anything unusual at all. We might as well take the time and make sure that you're strong.
Okay. Have you found a way out of this place?
I just limited my exploring to where I could be around to take care of you. I mean, there's always the way back from where we came.
Right. Okay. Can you get me out of this?
Of course. And I'll unbind what I've done to protect him. I did this to because you were thrashing. Whatever infection, fever you were fighting,
Yeah, so as soon as you unbind him, he'll look around for his staff and he'll grab that if it's within reach.
it would be.
He'd probably go to stand up, and then unfortunately, classic medical bodily function fashion, he'd go to stand, and that's when the hunger will probably hit, and he'd probably almost stumble a couple of steps. And then he'll kind of look at his feet in like that detached manner, like, why the fuck aren't you working properly? Like I said, Gennaro knows that this is all very sterile. This is almost stoic like. Not with that normal jovialness, that like half attitude he likes to give everything. Turbano looked back at Gunnar, like, all right, food, and then we need to get out of here. We have wasted too much time.
That's fine. I'm
Also,
rather sick of this place anyway. So
as Thurban and Gunnar are getting ready to get food out, Thurban will actually see if he can reach out again. Actually, no, he is not, because he does not want to deal with that again. Never mind, he will not.
Aw. All right, fine.
Like Thurban, he was just more worried about. It's been days. I wonder if the hand is taken care of, and he's like, I am not putting my mind's hand through that shit again. We will wait. But yeah, he'll probably just take, while Gunnar's trying to get whatever they're going to eat together. Thurban will probably put one hand on the wall and kind of make a loop around the room, basically trying to get his motor functions working again. Because I don't know if you ever experienced not moving for 24 hours, but it sucks trying to get up and mobile again after that.
It is, the room itself is kind of like an kind of like not a kind of an oblong triangle shape that at the two at the shorter end of the triangle there are two stairways that one goes down, one, or like they both go, hang on a second, one goes up, one goes down. So you're kind of at a middle level if this in this section of the crypt there. You notice that the stairway that actually goes up. If you're facing the shorter end of the room, that's on your left-hand side. The stairway that goes down is on your right. The 3 sarcophagi that are still closed, that you remember from the initial fight in this room with the skeletal guardians of this crypt, is like somewhat behind you. Behind those, at the opposite corner of the room, is the rostrum where you guys have been kind of camping out. Because there's only one way to get to there, and the makeshift fire, your bedrolls. There is a statue of a mortal of some form or fashion from previous age. There, just to kind of give you a recap of what the room looks like. There are 2 alcoves about mid of the room that like are suspiciously empty. It looks like a doorway, but they're the stone there seems like, well, why what is the design aspect here? Why are these here? But once you do get your inner ear functioning again, what is your next move?
Well, once Ganar gets food out or whatnot, he's probably going to go ravenous at that. 3 days of no eating will make anyone a crazy man. After that, I mean, he's doing kind of look at Ganar because Ganar's been kind of the one scouting. So do we just take a chance and go back up the staircase? Do we try to go back up the same staircase? Something threw us down here that day.
Well, if our intent is to get back out and head back to the tavern, it would seem that up would be the shortest route. That's not to say if we went down, we couldn't find another set of staircases that go up, but that's a big if.
I mean, do we just play it safe and just go back out the way we know leads out? You said you went a little bit of ways. Did you go up or down any of these?
No, I wasn't going to take the chance of awakening any more guardians without without your magic to make them brittle. The one that I fought before your spell went off, that guardian, that's body, spirit, skeleton, that could have crushed us. And there was 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fairly certain we wouldn't have survived if it wasn't for your magic.
Yeah, if you haven't tried yet, don't touch their things. That's kind of what induced what laid me out.
Oh. I couldn't find any wounds on you, so I didn't know how you got an infection or fever from.
Because it's not physical is the problem. Well, it becomes physical, and he'll kind of flex out his one hand, and
They look burnt.
the best way to put it is they're stained. It's unfortunately Do you know anything about? Well, actually, I don't even know how you would say this. Do you know anything about what they refer to as the shadow sickness or the corruption?
No, that sounds most vile.
Mm-hmm. But that's what is happening here. It is not my first time dealing with it.
So will your entire body turn that color?
That is the assumption. I once met an oracle that was mostly this way. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it just completely envelops you if it doesn't kill you beforehand. There's very few ways to get out of it, or not get out of it, but get rid of it. And unfortunately, it's not one that I can do to myself.
Well, it's
Are
all
we
riddles to me.
are we eating anything that requires us cooking or sitting down, or is this all just like trail rations we're munching on?
We have 3 months worth of trail rations and minus however many meals that I've gone through down here. That's just what we've been. That's what we brought down.
Okay.
Most of your perishables, Gunnar has probably eaten through for the sake of they're gonna go bad if I don't eat them. And the non-perishable stuff is what you had on yourselves and not on the baggage horses, which I believe are
Glad
still skyside.
Should be anyway.
I'm glad you woke up when you did. I was quickly having to come to a place where a decision would have to be made.
And what decision is that?
If I would have to leave you to go up and get some help.
Oh, well, you're right. It is a good thing I woke up. As they're eating, so there's just stuff he could walk and eat. He's gonna walk back out to where the sarcophagi are, and you said there was 3 staircases in that room, right? But there was the sarcophagi and the staircases and the statue.
To go, well, there's a staircase that goes up to a rostrum that has the statue behind it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a staircase that goes up that is the one you assume is the one that you fell down initially. And there's another one that goes down, you assume, deeper into the crypt.
Okay. All right, Gennard, decision time. Do we just play it safe and try going back up, tell people about this place and come back to go through it later? Or do we take the chance to go down and hope we come out somewhere else? Especially because we have no idea where it's going to come out at, and we also have no idea what the weather is like outside.
How do
Or
you
the,
feel if we were to come across some more of these skeletons?
not going to lie, it probably suck, but I mean, well, actually, narrator, with it being fever dreams, have I actually gotten anything back?
Uh,
Would I have been rested enough to get
you
spell
know,
points
well,
back?
just shut up and leave it a yes or no question. Now I'm like, oh, I was about to say, yo, yeah, sure, yeah, no. Now
Oh,
I'm
come
like,
on. That wouldn't be fun, though. Come on, you know I gotta make it difficult for myself.
Yeah, you two like to jack yourselves. That's the problem with this game. And then I assume, never assume, you make an ass out of yourself and Uma Thurman, and Uma Thurman didn't do anything. Uh, and I assume you guys are progressing level wise nicely, and then I almost kill you both. So I'm gonna say, uh, because you're resting, quote, resting, was somewhat of an occult nature, I'm going to say that your vitality and spell point regeneration, what you would normally get, is actually halved. Do your math yourself. I don't have copies of your guys' character sheets to keep track of your vitality and your spell points. All I know is Gunnar has not cast a single spell yet. One of these days, he's gonna discover a ritual and be like, I don't know what I'm doing, but ha! We're gonna fucking try this, and he'll be the clinch that saves an entire episode.
No, see, now all I can think about is the barbarian who picked up the pan and cast iron at everything.
Ha 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 ha! That's so fucking bad. God damn it, man. Anyway, did I answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Back in character.
Yeah. It suck. It really suck. Let's just leave it at that. It would really suck. Especially if it's that many of them again. There's like one or two I have potentially other ways to do it, but if it's a whole group like that one was, it's gonna really suck.
So does this crypt have anything to do with the entity or enemy that we are missioned to fight against, or is this part of our mission? I don't know how this fits in with what you need us to do.
Be honest, I'm pretty sure this is older. One of the reasons I kind of went into the fever that I did is I call it glimpses. I don't know if it's glimpses, see in the past or whatnot, but it was it's older than what we're dealing with. I don't even think Endukaga knows this place exists. At least from what I can see, it doesn't look like he knows this place exists. It very well could be one of the places he needs to know exists, considering he's looking for items of power, and there very well could be one at the bottom of this thing. Could if I had to take a guess, this was a fortification possibly of a war that I was told about in stories. That the Astromancer was probably a kid when this happened. And that man makes me look like an infant in age. So, is it pertaining to us right now? As in, does the enemy know about this? Is the enemy trying to get here? I don't think so. But I can't say yes or no for sure. Because who knows? Maybe they're at the other end, and found a different way in, and they're somewhere in the belly of this thing doing who knows what deities know. But based on this room and the bodies, no, this does not pertain to our mission.
And what are these items of power that you're referencing?
So, depending on the person or the location or what's going on, you can infuse items with power or magical energy. And he'll actually grab his staff, that black and new staff. This one, for instance, is on its way to becoming an item of power. It has been infused with some magical energy to make it what it wasn't before.
When you indicate said staff, it doesn't do anything physically, but because you're holding it, you feel that presence from within being summoned up, the undead spirit that was bound there, kind of like snaps to attention initially, like, what, I'm being spot. Okay, never mind, they're talking about me, not to me.
Right. I don't need you right now, but don't fucking slack off, god damn it. But yes, but this is on its way to becoming an item of power. The things that Endukaga is looking for are immensely powerful objects, like world-changing things, i.e., the reason that Autumn has not moved on because he literally took the crown of it. I don't know what else he has taken. But he is looking for things of that magnitude. And considering how old this place looks and feels, as well as the statue that's in that other room that I poked around at for a little bit, there very well could be one of those items in the bottom of this thing. But I don't know.
And we have no idea how far down.
Nope.
It's a mine. Sorry, excuse me, I'm not there.
So yes, it's a question of, do we take the chance and go down and either hope we find something we're looking for or a way out easier, or do we go back out the way we came and hope it's not a snowstorm? That still only counts as one.
No, it actually counts as 8 total currently. We shall see.
Yeah.
Back in character.
I'm not the one who has suffered whatever injury it was that you got. I'm still fairly fresh and well rested. If you feel like we want to go down and look before we go up, at least we could justify it by saying we want to make sure that nothing's going to follow us out.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. And he's kind of eyeing the staircase down, and he kind of eyes the sarcophagi. Like, I swear to God, if anything else fucking surprises me right now.
Gunnar sees him regarding the staircase and the sarcophagi. Do we want to open these boxes as long as we're here?
The sarcophagi, the coffins that keep the bodies in. No, do not touch those.
Our young Conan, ever the adventuring treasure hunter. Yes. Yes, of course. Open them. No, it's up to you. I'm not there. Never mind. I'm just the
I mean,
narrator.
unless you want to look like this.
You lost your finger opening a stone box.
No, that's this hand.
Oh,
And that's a different story. No, I'm talking about if you, I mean, unless you want to get inky fingers,
ah,
I wouldn't touch it.
no, I've got no desire to mess with that that type of magic.
Because I don't think that cute little fail wants you touching her with black fingers. I'm just saying. Most people in these worlds don't want to touch anyone who has inky fingers. So, I mean, it's your choice, though.
I've got no interest in that magic. Ganar's going to basically break camp, repack what needs to be packed up, and give him, just some more time to get reacclimated and try out his legs. Yeah, just basically resecuring everything in the packs and making sure it's tied down and getting ready to head out.
Back on the march you go. So which direction did we decide to go?
We're gonna go down briefly and see what's down basically a staircase. Like we'll go down a single set of stairs and see what happens.
And you'll make those decisions room by room.
Basically.
Okay, this seems interesting. Next room. Oh, we
Right.
don't want anything to do with this shit. We're leaving. Oh,
Well,
fuck
I
the
mean,
whole
I mean,
place.
yeah. I mean, Gennard had a good thing of, we don't want anything being awoken down here that's gonna follow us out and, be worse either.
All right.
And I wasn't trying to convince you either way. I'm just
Oh no, I
saying
know.
that
It's fine.
Okay. Who is holding your oil lantern? Excuse me, your oil lamp that has burned beautifully for 72 hours straight and doesn't show any signs of guttering, by the way.
That's not a normal oil lamp.
do you want me to hold the light?
Yeah, why don't you hold it? Just because if we have to fight any more of these things, then we know my frost is better than your blade.
No. It's a nice combination.
You descend into the next chamber. Who is first to enter the chamber, descending the staircase?
I imagine I am.
Okay. Could you describe for us how you descend the staircase? I'm assuming light first, sword drawn. Let us see what you're about here.
So Gunnar will watch the steps, but also be regarding obviously what's coming up in front of him. So there's no sides to this, right? It's not like there's an open. So the staircase itself, it's not like you can look down and see how far down it goes, or is it walled in staircase going down?
No, I'm pretty sure he said before it's walled in because it's supposed to be easily defensible. So
Okay. So Gunnar would stay off to the left side as it heads down, and will make his way not at a crawl, but not just a casual walk down.
This this room, so 15 feet wide, but it goes off as it's it's like a wide hallway that goes off into the darkness beyond your lamp. Along the left-hand side of the wall are multiple about waist-high niches where there are uh, uh, like various statues depicting various other things like entities, weird, wonderful, horrific, and beautiful. Actually, may it be they elemental spirits or whatever. It's ancient divinities. We don't know, but it looks like an offering room of some kind. You continue cautiously down this way, and there are two curtained off doorways here that hang like a it's not a tapestry or anything like that. It's just the cloth, um, heavy cloth so that to keep that privacy curtain type uh apparatus hanging from the ceiling there. Along with further examination there, you just try to peek around it. You actually do this. So there's a short staircase that goes into a room beyond, again, that your light can't necessarily penetrate. This room itself seems like an offering room of various lesser or small deities. But with these privacy curtains, you really can't tell much what's beyond. How do you wish to proceed?
I look at Thybin, I'm like, I don't know anything about these gods.
do I recognize any of these?
No, there you can get from the iconography. There are several different uh elemental nature spirits, so to speak, but none of the major deities are here. No.
So from what I can tell, it's elemental in nature, but not the deities of nature that I know.
Yes.
That's fucking frightening. Um, yeah, he'll try to at least to commit those kind of the memory. Uh,
Do we want to go in there?
well, I mean, nothing. Sure, sure. We got to see if there's something down here.
All right. Gunnar will take. Actually,
And say if anything, Thraban use the tip of his staff. Kind of.
yeah. If you move it out of the way, I'll go in there with the light source and see.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll kind of push the curtain
As
up
you push the curtain out of the way, the thing tears from its age and falls to the floor in a dusty. The
all these
rod that it
things.
was hanging from doesn't clatter to the floor, so that was nice.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome. Anyone in the audience who has a dust allergy just gagged. No, thank you.
Pinar will, after the curtain falls unexpectedly, he's just going to stop and listen and make sure that there's no sound of any other guardians coming to life or waking or whatever the guardians may do.
Right. You ascend you descend deeper. There's only 6 more steps into a vaulted chamber with 4 statues, 1 statue at each corner. Seems like a humanoid figure in armor that has gone out of fashion for quite some time. There are 3 sarcophagi that are more opulent and, dare I say, beautiful in their design than the 3 initially that you saw in the previous chamber. Specifically, Mike, you because you're a longer-lived entity of the world, you get the distinct impression that this place, from its construction and its architecture, that this place was initially like a fortification, like a subterranean fortification, but in like the recent cycles before it had been abandoned. Obviously, it's been abandoned, or its denizens had been wiped out. Somehow, there's no one here. It was turned
Living
into a
anyway.
crypt, right? It was turned into a crypt. So there are some of these chambers seem more like public and or like civic places, like the 3 circular chambers above that you initially stepped down into could possibly have been functioning as like a gatehouse or a offices to process tradesmen coming in when this place was in its heyday. The triangular shaped room could possibly have been a strong point to choke places off, and it starts to become more open area here, and this place could possibly have been a gallery, a meeting gallery of some kind. But these 3 sarcophagi here are very well decorated. The I'm gonna say the paint on these have faded with age, but it's clearly you can determine the sex of the dead, if you will. The center coffin is a woman, and the 2 flanking her are male figures. Terry, by the size of the sarcophagi, so you can deduce that they house human-like bodies in there. You're a big guy for your species. They're slightly shorter than here. They would have to stuff you into the size, but
Chop your feet off and call it a day.
like distant cousins of you, maybe, perhaps. We don't know.
Gunnar looks at him with interest. I mean, it's very, very interesting to see that if they are indeed as old as he says they are, this is interesting. Wonder what they buried him with.
There is a single archway, another stairway going down that goes into a hallway that goes. You have the option of going right or left. How do you wish to proceed?
Before that, the 4 statues that are in the room with the 3 sarcophagi, do they look similar to the statue that was up higher?
No, that one was a specific, you assume to be like a specific person and or entity. A hero of some kind. These people look like they're just wearing armor.
Okay.
They don't have faces sculpted. They have helmets sculpted.
Gotcha. But I'm assuming when you said armor that's gone out of style for a while, it's the same style as the one up there.
Right.
Okay. So these are more opulent. Now you said we knew 1 was female and 2 were male. Is that because the sarcophagi are open, or they actually have like reliefs on the top of the sarcophagi?
They have reliefs on top that are painted and sculpted in a way where you're like, oh no, that's a female body. Right.
Okay. Um,
Boobs.
yeah,
right.
boobs.
And hips.
And hips, yeah. I'm assuming the attire that they have these things painted in is more opulent than the ones up top.
Oh, very much so.
Okay. So
the guys in these 3 coffins are like nobles, obviously nobles, and the 3 in the previous chamber seem like they're honored soldiers, honored dead.
maybe they were underlings of that hero statue.
Perhaps.
Okay. So obviously the 4 statues in here were placed as guards.
Right.
Okay.
Figurehead deities, or figurehead type guardian entities, perhaps. But they're sculpted in the likeness of, you would assume, like a heavy infantry unit.
Right. Might even have been like the royal guard or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you said leave this room and we can go left or right.
Yep.
Go down a little bit, go left or right.
Yep. It is a narrow hallway.
Left or right, Ganar? What are you feeling? What's your gut say?
All right. Always to the right.
Always to the right.
Okay.
Guess we're gonna go to the right.
You turn to the right, hang that corner, and you find yourself. Thurban knows exactly what this place is. It's a meditation chamber. Even after all of this time, you can sense there's a quiet reverence here. It's, despite how like creepy the place looks, there is a quiet serenity in this room that still lingers here. If you feel so bold as to find comfort in that, that's up to you.
Comfort among the morbid. Wouldn't be the first time. Is there anything in this room?
At 2 opposite corners, one immediately to your left, standing in the doorway to this room, there is a statue of a woman. She's garbed in kind of like this gauzy, it's stone. She's sculpted in this cloth that kind of drapes over her and kind of shows off part of her feminine physique and obscures other parts of it. And there's you don't recognize her, but that's a goddess of some kind. That's you're, for whatever reason, she's just not coming to your mind, but there is a reverence there. And opposite her is what would be an early depiction of the goddess Carnage. You're like, I know who that bitch is. Yeah, she's the goddess of beating ass and taking names. And Carnage's tits are out and they're perfect, and she's cold.
which which
She's not shy at all.
right, which seeing her Urbano kind of look back at Gunnar and be like, "You should know that one."
Would I have knowledge of this goddess or
The great goddess Carnage. Everyone knows who the great goddess Carnage is. She is the
okay?
lady of battle.
Considering how much you beat ass and spray blood, I'd be surprised if you don't know who that is.
Gunnar is not a very religious man, but if Gunnar is to Conan as Crom is to Conan, excuse me, Crom is to Carnage, we'll say.
This is impressive that she has been honored in this ancient crypt like this.
Though it does strike Thraban as a little weird that her statue would be in a meditation room.
Why? Killers have to meditate.
Yeah, but
Warriors have to meditate. They have to center themselves before they go into battle. And I mean, look at her. She is clad like she's obviously she's topless with a battle axe in one hand, a sword, excuse me, a shield in the other. Her crown is made of bones. You can assume that they're like fucking like tibias and fucking radiuses and fucking like there's a
big ass bones. Yeah,
all right. Then they stick up, but she's got like she's wearing a pair of greaves, and obviously the leather skirt. But no, this depiction of her is, I mean, scary and intimidating. But you feel the presence beyond that statue. It's commonly thought throughout Arklanar, if there are statues of the gods, a portion of their power resides in that statue. Or Greek mythology esque, but hey.
which of course now like Thraban's thinking, did Carnage have an opposite that got forgotten? Like he's thinking this like half out loud, like half mumbling to himself while he's looking between the two.
Or is actually, no, I'm not going to say a fucking thing. You, sir, are going to make me a lore test here. It's going to be your character's first lore test. You have 1 grade of academics.
Yes.
All right. So, it's basically, give me. It's 2d8 plus your cunning modifier plus your level is a lore test.
Cunning plus level.
Yep.
Okay.
What a lore test is the mechanical stand-in for bardic knowledge. It is how well educated your character is and how, I suppose, if they've read it somewhere or if they've experienced it previously or trying to recall something.
Oh, that's going to be 20.
Nice. It could be an aspect of Carnage that was, or an early aspect of Carnage, excuse me, an early version of Carnage had a duality to her, where one was like either like I'm a nice little girl who's cute and flowers and sunshine and peace and serenity, while the other one is I'm the goddess of beating ass. What? This is fun. Look at this. And she doesn't wear a top, of course.
Of course. So yeah.
Very strong, vicious lesbian energy. Playfully so, playfully. Respectfully, of course.
You gotta be respectful. Even though I'm sure Carnage would be like, be disrespectful, please.
Be disrespectful. Always disrespectful. if Carnage was a real goddess, she would be a female WWE wrestler who is like the main antagonist and nemesis of all like she comes in and she'd be like, oh, we would hear like fuck, Sting comes out of the rafters with a baseball bat. Oh, Carnage comes out of the floor with a chainsaw. Fuck you. And she kills everyone in the fucking ring. Well, that's against the rules. No, it's not. I rewrite the script.
And then the
Anyway.
dead man shows up and everyone hears that gong and we say, oh, fuck. Sorry. Gushing there for a moment. Don't mind me.
Right? The Undertaker. Right?
Fucking dead man.
Okay.
Anyway, back in character.
I apologize. No WWE tonight.
Does it look like there was like an actual like spot worn down from where someone kneeled or genuflected there?
There's actually a fucking rug in
There's
the
still a rug.
There's a rug in the middle of the room. It's a rectangular room, okay? Okay. And the statues are in corners and doorways are in corners. So you guys are in a corner to where if you're standing in the doorway, you're looking across the way and you see Carnage. You turn to the left, you see whoever that other woman is. If you look to the opposite corner of the room, you see another doorway. There is a rectangular rug in the middle of the room where corners of that rug closest to the statues has been worn down where someone has kneeled before the deities there. But it kind of like services like multiple people, and multiple people can genuflect at the same time. But obviously there's a specific favored spot that everyone likes to pray at. So
that's kind of a unique way to do it.
You have no idea what color the rug is anymore because it's been so damn long. Hey Gunnar, you're still you're still holding the lamp, right?
Correct. I've got the light source. So he's going to be careful not to step on the rug. I don't know what kind of
Okay.
mojo is going on in this room. So he'll step around the rug and kind of make his way to the other side just to examine the room, make sure there's nothing.
Okay. Make me an awareness test here, quick. Terry, just you're the one holding the light. I want you to see. I want to see if you see.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, no, that's a critical failure.
You don't see a goddamn thing. Open
right? You don't
eyes,
see
man.
a fucking thing.
Never mind, then. You don't see anything.
Snake eyes.
Snake eyes. Yeah, right.
So, I would put an asterisk then next to cunning, right?
No, on critical successes, sir.
Oh, because I thought it was critical failures and critical successes. Like you had
is it? I forgot. Maybe we don't get many critical failures.
I know, and I was like, "What's this gonna do to me?" Supposed to be aware.
Put a pen in that.
We'll discuss that after the session.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later. That's really interesting. Mike, have we ever done stat increases on critical failures in the past?
We haven't
once.
We haven't before, but it is something that me, you, and him spoke about a couple sessions ago. But because a critical failure hasn't been brought up, we didn't have anything to go off of. But like I said, we should probably do that after the session so we don't get bogged down for the next 20 minutes trying to figure that shit out.
Right. Yeah, we'll do it later. No, continue.
I'll just make a note that there was a critical failure.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay. So no, you don't see anything continue. Thurban, what is he
Right.
doing?
Um, see, Thurban is going to touch the rug with the staff to see if it does fall apart and like turn to dust on him. Basically, he's coming up to the middle of the rug,
Right.
and like he would get ready to step on it, but he's actually going to like tap it with the staff.
Um, well, I mean, you don't destroy it, obviously, but you do move the cloth, but it is pretty obvious that it is quite brittle.
Yeah. How lightly can he step, I wonder?
Quite light, I would think.
Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna see how this works because ancient as fuck or not, he is in a spot of reverence, so he's going to at least give a little bit of reverence. He's actually going to slip his shoes off, and as carefully as possible, he's going to step into essentially what would be the center of the rug.
Okay.
And he will kneel down right there.
What direction are you facing?
He is actually going to face straight, so he is actually uh, equidistant from both of them.
Okay, okay.
Just because I know his peripherals, with I'm assuming how far back the rug is, he can actually catch both of the statues.
Okay.
And he's actually not gonna like put out a prayer or anything. Um, but he is just gonna kind of close his eyes and center himself for a minute. Especially after the hellish nightmare he just endured for 72 hours. A little bit of peace would do him well.
Okay.
It probably might be like 5-10 minutes or something though. So
Okay. Okay. You can make me a meditation test if you like.
yeah, we'll do that.
When Gunnar sees him kind of settling in, Gunnar is basically going to take a knee and just focus his energy on listening and being aware of the room.
Okay.
28.
Okay.
Nice.
8, 6, and 7, and then my bonuses.
Nice.
Nama fucking stay.
There you go, right? He meditated like it was going out of style. Holy shit.
Well, with the way this place is, it probably was.
Uh-huh. Um, distant as that presence may be, you can recover 2 points of vitality and 2 points, 2 spell points here. You are able to push through whatever murk is here, and you can find at least a semblance that remains of the goddesses here. Goddess or goddesses, we don't quite know yet. Perhaps that is a subject for later study,
Right. You got to ask the astromancer about that later on.
right? Uh, but no, after a while, you feel pretty good. Like that you because you're meditating and you're settling in, you're focusing, you're tapping into the energies of this place. Uh, you uh lost my train of thought. You receiving like a obviously there's a darkness here, but you feel it. You feel it around you. You're able to push through it, and there's these two aspects, divine aspects here, that seem like they're behind this murky membrane. And you've identified it now. Like, oh no, this is a presence here that is actually well beyond me. And why or what is this power that seems to have been just like locked down here, or uh led to fester down here? What's this? What's this? And there's it's always like you're trying to search out. You're not gonna push your mind outside of this place, but you're like searching around within this place, and
Mm-hmm.
you get the feeling that, oh, this dungeon, so to speak, is vast, and it goes on for a ways. A good portion of this mountain range is hollowed out in different forms. Uh, but these two divine aspects are uh kind of like given over to how they feel, or possibly the feeling of being forgotten, having someone, anything, reach out to them here, of all places again. They never thought that this would happen, and so those two divine aspects reach back, and you form that connection again.
So yeah, when he opens his eyes and kind of takes all this in, one, yeah, he if one was to look at him versus looking at him when he first woke up from this, one could tell that almost like something's been lifted off of his shoulders, like he isn't as heavy as he was. Um, and when he kind of gets in his mind's eye of just how vast this thing could potentially be, as well as how dangerous whatever is here is, um, he's kind of hitting that point of, okay, we've seen enough to put an interest in it, but we might not want to go any further. Um, Especially because now he's kind of afraid of, if we go one spot too far, we might find something that we don't really have the means to look at right now. Um, he will, after he opens his eyes, he'll stand up and he'll take his staff back in hand, and he will actually turn. He'll turn first to Karn. He'll turn to the other one. Still not sure quite exactly what that is. Um, and he'll actually voice a thank you. Like nothing really else for that, just thank you. Um, Before he'll turn to Gunnar, and we'll have to figure out what our next step is after that. So, and when he kind of probing along, I'm assuming it was all like that sick, that muck feeling that he felt when he tried delving into it the first time, right?
Yes. That was like if you're trying to make your conscious leave this place.
Yeah, but like, yeah. Um, after he gets up and he says thank you, he'll actually approach the statues closer.
Which
He'll
one do you
actually
approach first?
well he's actually going to approach the unknown one first, the possible duality one.
Okay.
And the reason for that is one, he knows that one's Carnage. Also, he gave her the thank you first, so he's going to go look at this one first because he's trying to be even about shit,
Right.
balance and all. As much as we hate that dreaded B word,
Goddamn B word.
but yeah,
Golly gee.
he's basically he's looking to see if there's anything that might tell him more about who this is, if there's any markings to tell him anything about her. Um, maybe it's also an aspect of a goddess he does know, just not dressed and draped like this as well.
Okay.
Or if it's
Well,
quite, or if it's quite literally just Carnage with more clothes and a different hairstyle. So
okay. So on the dais of 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 the unknown aspect here. Uh there she's you look down at her feet. She doesn't have any shoes on, but there is a ring there. A
toe ring
ring
or ankle ring?
like a finger ring.
Oh,
A finger, like not a ring with a finger in it, no, but a ring on the stone.
Like sitting on top of her foot, or
No, it's like she's sculpted out of like one piece of stone, and on the platform that she's sculpted from, there's like where an offering bowl would be. There's a ring there, like someone put a ring there. Uh, this ring, a ring of black silver, a midnight metallic substance that shimmers like silver but disappears in bright light like a shadow, etched with shadow runes. There's an inscription on the inside of the ring, but I mean it's a plain black silver band.
and it doesn't look
It's there amidst the
corroded
dust.
or
No,
worn or
tarnished.
anything that
it
would
looks
show that.
it looks immaculate.
So nothing that shows that it's been here for cycles upon cycles upon cycles, probably.
Well, it's in the dust.
Well, besides the dust of the place itself, there's nothing about the ring itself to show its age.
No. Besides, obviously, the shadow runes that are like, obviously, anyone who understands alphabets knows that that's not okay. Not okay letters. Like everyone of Middle Earth knows, oh, that's black speech right there. Excuse me. No, thank you. Uh, but no, it is immaculate ring of black silver etched with an inscription on the inside of the band that is immaculate, but is covered amidst the dust there that you can barely see because it glints and also somewhat disappears in the lamplight from Gunnar's lamp across the room. Like, like the way I'm going to describe is going to be kind of corny, but Star Trek original series, like 1950s, 1960s type of like special effects where like a ghost would like shimmer in and shimmer out. It's kind of like that, but it like glitters like if you have a silver ring and like you hold a candle near it, it glints like that.
Oh, how he wishes he knows is this lady's name so he can ask for advice. Between be, between the be, between the obviously ominous lettering and the fact that it looks immaculate, that is not a normal ring. That is going
Obviously not.
that that is going to stay put for a moment. Um,
Just for a moment.
just for a moment. Uh, and he's going to walk
Could
over to
that
the huh?
could that be an item of power?
It could possibly. I know you're gonna shut up, narrator. He's gonna think every single thing we find now is gonna be an item of power. That's gonna be fucking great.
I'm
I
not
see
here.
them all over.
Yeah,
They're all over.
Never mind me.
but I mean the fact that it's been there for who knows how many cycles and looks that good, it very well could be. Especially in front of the statue of a goddess that's unknown. Um, don't don't touch that. Don't fucking touch that. Um,
No,
and
if someone left that as an offering for her, I wouldn't be,
yeah.
because there is something going on between these two, and
Also, I forgot to ask this. I'm assuming the two statues are facing toward the rug and not facing each other.
Yeah, they are in each other's view, so they're
Well,
facing each other, yes, and facing the carpet as well.
okay. Are they turned to where they're directly confronting each other, or are they turn more toward the worshippers? Is what I'm asking.
The rug is in the center of the room. They are facing
Right.
each other. You just happen to,
it's in the
if the
center.
worshippers are in the side of the room, they're facing the worshippers.
Oh, okay. I get you now. I got that wrong in my head. Then I thought they
So
were
like
going.
the geometry of the room, if you stand in the sit in the middle like you did, you can supplicate to both.
Okay. Okay, I got you now. Yeah. So yeah, I will walk over to the statue of Carnage.
Okay.
Is there an
Uh,
offering bowl with a ring in that one too?
no, there is actually no offering bowl here. There are no offerings. It's just her.
No long forgotten black blood stains anywhere.
Nope.
Had to try.
You're right.
Now, narrator, remind me because I'm trying to remember the deities of this world. Is Carnage older than the nature gods?
I wouldn't say so, no. Because the four primeval nature gods have been there since time began, essentially.
Right. Because Thorban's trying to piece together why would a statue of Carnage be here, but not the elemental gods in the previous room. Like it doesn't it doesn't match up continuity wise in his head.
Hire a necromancer, come back
Yeah,
here and ask the dead yourself.
yeah, right, yeah. Or become one my damn self.
Uh-huh.
Well, either she's in some form that old, or someone built a statue to her at some later date.
I gotta ask the astromancer when we get out of here. Um, so kind of found out that this place might be a hell of a lot bigger than we might be anticipating, as well as there is something either really dark and or really powerful somewhere in here. And I don't know what your gut's telling you, but I'm getting to the point where I think we need to cut our losses.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I think so. We have one of three things we can do. Because I think we go maybe one or two more rooms. I'm not going down another staircase though. So the question is, do we check out the other door in this room? Do we go down the other way in the intersection, or do we just leave? Also, when you look at him, you can tell he's not as rigid as he was when he first woke up. He's got a little bit more of that energy and that looseness about him that you probably grown used to traveling with.
Once again, for the sake of making sure that we're not disturbing anything or have anything follow us back, I say we fall back to the intersection and check out the left passage.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that.
As the two of you reconnoiter to the T section, as I will call it, that hallway becomes a staircase that goes down deeper into the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, if we come to a staircase, he's going to stop.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
think we should leave the staircases alone, Gunnar.
I would agree.
Especially if we have
out of the meditation room, there was an exit. Was that a staircase or was that just an exit?
Many of these archways are actually stairways that lead down deeper into the mountain. So really your up is to go out. But if there is I suppose if there is a shorter route of escape, you need to go down to go out, and you guys don't know that.
right.
But
So the left side of the T intersection is a staircase going down.
right.
If we go back to the meditation room and go to the door opposite of where we come in at,
Same thing.
that goes into an archway that goes down.
You've essentially made a circle.
Oh, yay. I'm
Okay.
gonna look at Gunnar then and be like, all right, do we chance it on one more, or do we just get out or attempt to get out?
Hmm. Well, from the information that you're getting, that there's something big and powerful. If we're already going to cut our losses, now is the time to do it before we awaken anything else.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we're going to back up and go back to that initial room with the three sarcophagi that we fought all the things in. And we're going to attempt to go up the staircase from that one. Attempt being the operative word here.
Rafe, if you're talking, you're on mute.
Excuse me. That stairway, ascending, not descending. The left-hand corridor is a crumbled hallway, so we can ignore that. You walk down the right-hand corridor, and you find yourself in a circular chamber. not unlike the furnishings of a gatehouse. There are tables here, there are desks, there are weapon racks, there are a number of beds here that have moldered with age. You ascend that stairway there, and much the same is in this one, but with a fortified doorway at the top of it, which is open. It's actually double doors. One door is hanging off of its hinges and splintered. At some point in its history, possibly a battering ram had been taken to it. But you ascend through that archway. And it is in this room that you begin to feel a tad bit cold. You ascend into the third circular chamber and find yourselves in the room that you initially stealthily descended into 3.5 days previously. There is no wind here, as you would think there is wind. You ascend those staircases, actually that stairway. You go up, find the landing, hang that left, and you go halfway up that stairway, and it is a snowdrift. It would seem that the blizzard that had been covering the village above has snowed you in. Carrie, you're muted as well.
Well, we're all guilty tonight.
Right.
No, normally it's just me.
Yeah, right. We all got the mute bug.
So Gunnar will go up to the snowdrift where the opening is completely snowed over, and he's gonna put his hand on it and like take a listen. Is there any sound at all? Does it feel like heavy?
You try like you put your hand on the snow, and I mean it's packed. It's not powder. It's not like snowmobiling powder weather. No, it's packed in there. Like it has been. Those of us who have lived in the upper Midwest of America know it snows and it snows and it snows and it's packed. It's almost like concrete. You put your ear to it and you like kind of like strain. You like tilt your ear up and you open your mouth slightly to get yourself a little bit more hearing, and you're like, there is a howling wind somewhere up there, and that's like 60 feet up. And immediately you think of those poor bastards in the village. They're probably under 12 feet of snow by now. But this is your predicament now.
And I relay what I heard with the wind.
All right.
That entire village might be under snow.
I think just as the alcohol ran out too.
Uh-huh.
Poor bastards.
Sad day.
Sad day. No, I guess we take that as a sign that we have to go down. Fuck. All right. And Turbano, he'll actually go up to the snowdrift, just cause, and like he's tempted to just see if he can go walk through it, but like as soon as he puts his hands on it and feels that it's just that dense, he's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that game today. I'm gonna
You feel like you
cold.
try and phase through it.
No, it wasn't even that. It's just all like if it was loose enough, he would like try to see how deep it was.
Oh
like,
no, we're talking like
yeah.
if it is like a vaulted archway and you guys look up, it's packed.
Yeah.
Snow down
Well,
in there.
because his other thought was, well, I can't feel the cold, but I still need to breathe, so we're not going to play that game today.
Right.
Yeah, so with almost like a dejected shrug of his shoulders, like he's just like, God, all right, all right. Um, back in like that gatehouse area, I know most of the things are moldering and decaying and probably turn to dust when we get too close to them. Is there anything there at all that is salvageable?
What are you looking for?
At this moment, it would be um like I know fabric things like cloth is going to be gone. He's actually going to see if he can find any bowls or anything that he can use for basically apothecary ingredients because he has none. Um,
No. Yeah, you could probably scrounge a copper bowl or an electrum bowl from one of the cabinets there, and we'll say you can uh grind something up with the pommel of a dagger, so to speak, but a lot of it will be copper implements. You'll take a penalty to it because they're improvised tools, but it's better than nothing.
right.
So you did say there was like smashed racks. Are they like wooden furniture or wooden racks or what was it?
Yes. Yeah, there are some here.
Thinking for firewood.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Actually,
There's plenty here for kindling. There is that.
I'll start gathering up a bundle, and then once I got enough where I'm like, this is going to be a heft, then I'll go ahead and bind some together with some rope.
Okay. You can scrounge what you can from these areas here. But is it safe to assume that you push back to where you initially quit the crypt, back to the meditation chamber?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
I
that
would
is sorry, go
I
ahead.
would say that that intersection room is a place where I would, set down the bundle of wood, untie it so I get, my rope back, but just kind of leave the wood there. So that way, if we end up exploring to the left or to the right, then at least this is kind of a place to fall back to and defend.
Okay.
But yeah. So left intersection or other door of the meditation to actually go down.
I picked the last time.
You picked the last time. Let's do the other door of the meditation room. Or the other archway, sorry.
All right.
And we'll actually go down that one.
All right. It's six doesn't actually 6 1/2 doesn't the other really because you made a circle in that area. You descend that long, narrow stairway, and with the the lamplight leading you, you eventually see in the distance, in the darkness. That's how far down this goes. Blue light, witch fire light. And you descend further and you find a sconce that burns a blue fire. And your lamp immediately goes out. Like the fire retreated into the lamp. Like you turned off a flashlight, click, and it's gone. As soon as like you got here, and the blue light kind of bathes everything in that like ghostly, eerie Eidolon like light. Alright, so you begin to say, "What? This is weird." All right, you descend.
That's not a
At
normal lamp.
No, it's not a normal lamp at all. You descend. It becomes a bit steeper here, and you kind of struggle not to fall the hell down the stairs. And down into the darkness at the bottom of the stairway, there are two witch fire lamps that illuminate a landing that you see two ornate pillars holding up the stone ceiling. You step into a grand crypt. There are 8 pillars holding up the ceiling here, and between each is 2 sarcophagi lining each of the, I see, both walls. There is a rostrum at the back, facing, or excuse me, beyond a plinth. You can see a larger sarcophagus, quite grand in nature. But on a plinth up there is something something dark up there, folded up like a parcel of some kind. How do you wish to proceed? And this is the only light that you've seen down here. Actual light proper.
Hmm.
What is keeping these things lit?
Magic.
Sorry, Gennari, that was a rhetorical outward thought. I'm sorry. Um, Going up to one of the pairs of coffins, because there's 2 coffins between each, or is a
Each
coffin
pillar.
between 2 pillars?
There's a, oh my God. On either side of the room, there are 2 coffins in between each pair of pillars. There are 8 pillars in the room that go to the back of the room.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Going up to the first pair of pillars, is it a male and a female?
Yes, each of them is a male and a female, for as far as you can tell.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say these are more ornate than the last ones we saw.
Very much so.
Hmm.
I get the feeling we're in the chamber of royalty.
Some of these coffins are not for human dead, though. I'm not going to
Meaning they're
describe them, it's none of your business, but some of them are definitely not human.
I want to know. No, I'm joking.
Nah.
The whole search. I'm going to go look, so you have to describe it to me. No, I'm not going to be that big of a dick.
All I will say is Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, right. I think these are royal couples. I think this is lineages.
Hmm. What do you make of the odd ones?
That this place is older than what we have in written record or spoken record or record. If I survive all this, I might have to come back here.
But as in the others, there's no reason to be opening or
I wouldn't personally. No.
no. I agree.
We don't know what is going on down here, and you don't want to usually disturb the dead as it is. Yeah, no, No. You do what you want to at your own risk, Anar, but
Oh, no.
I'd rather not.
No, considering our situation, we've got really nowhere to retreat to. Um, if anything should attack us, we already know what lies up. Our only means of retreating would be to go blindly forward.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna go over to that plinth.
You ascend the dais to go to the plinth. Okay, okay. On the plinth is a robe folded neatly, dark robes whose shades shift in light and in dark, tenebrous and silken. They bear the weight of millennia, the smell of dusty subterranean archives and libraries. You have no idea who or how many sorcerers have donned these robes previously, but they are many. You feel the weight of ages going back timelessly. A rush of familiarity and unfamiliarity washes over you as you look upon them. Of both studies that you have taken up and studies forbidden to you. As you look down on these, it's a robe that's been folded up nicely on this plinth, like the robes of themselves have been propped up, so to speak. And there's a sarcophagus beyond, and it is a female statue, like uh sculpted into the sarcophagus lid.
That one doesn't by chance look anything like the statue opposite Carnage, does it?
Hell no.
Okay. Just want to make
This
sure.
this one
Just
you assume to be a mortal woman of some form or fashion.
yeah, well, I can assume until my ass falls off, but
Right. Ganar is actually standing next to a sarcophagus right now of a lady that has the figurehead of a lady who looks vaguely serpentine.
hmm.
Hmm.
Some Ophidian humanoid cross, not unlike the Velusian snake men of Call of Cthulhu.
He'll back away from that one. That's taking great care not to brush up against anything. This is vile.
Being up here and then looking out, do I see anything else from that vantage point, like of the room itself?
No, you have a better view of the sarcophagi, and again, some of them are humanoid. Some of them are not human,
Right.
obviously, and some are downright monstrous. And there's a few that are uh humans, men and women here, but the woman that is like most highly esteemed behind you is actually quite beautiful.
And up on that, there's just the robes up there, right?
Yeah.
Vidar is going to make his way back over to him.
You ascend the dais as well.
Yeah, let's say you.
All right. I copy and paste what I said about the robes there and how I've described the room. You're up there as well.
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. Um, Forgive me because I'm concentrating on the pillars and the sarcophagi and these robes. Did we have another doorway here, or did this dead end?
Oh, this is a dead end.
This fucking dead end. Of course it fucking did.
Uh-huh. And the door closes. Roll initiative. I'm fucking with you.
All the sarcophagi open.
You guys got to fight 16 sorcerers. All right. Some of them not even human. There we go.
Yeah. And then whatever queen bitch behind me is. 10th
So,
level Omnius with fucking
all right.
world destroying
Belgarath,
powers.
what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah, fucking right. God damn it.
Yeah, and you're in a crypt that is highly esteemed. And there is a set of robes, scholarly and sagely, mind you, just fucking sitting there. Folded up beautifully, and they're
Yeah,
not
right.
touched by time or dust.
And that's the part that fucking scares me.
Uh-huh.
Because I swear to God, the robes in the ring are probably connected. Like everything in his mind is saying, don't fucking touch anything. Everything in my mind is saying, don't fucking touch anything. But at the same time, part of me says, oh, you gotta touch shit.
There is a treasure hunter in every single one of your characters. There is a treasure hunt. I don't care how conservative you make your character, Mike. There is a fucking pillaging pirate son of a bitch in every single one of your characters. Fucking own it.
Fucking right. It's just God. It's also because when he touched the body way up at the top, and he got this happening, is like I don't want to fucking touch anything, but I gotta fucking touch shit. Oh, I gotta touch shit. Okay, he's going to go up to where the robes are again, and
Oh, you haven't moved. You're standing there.
well, but like he'll actually like go up on them.
Okay.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They're folded up
Nicely.
on this thing. Does he have room on either side of them to like put his hands, or are they taking up like the whole thing?
No, you can put your hands on either side of the robes on the plinth. Yeah. There's enough room there.
Okay. So he's let's start Ragnarok, boys. Come on. Sorry, I've been playing God of War a lot lately.
Rock and roll, motherfuckers. Let's do this.
He's gonna put his hands down on either end of the ropes. He's not
But
gonna
to
touch
clarify, not to touch the robes.
No, he is not touching the ropes. He has them on
Yet.
either side.
Okay.
Shut up. Don't jump narrative.
Excuse me.
He'll bow his head once again, not touching these fucking things. And he's gonna have his hands down, his head down, and he's gonna kind of like look up at all the sarcophagi, kind of like how someone going up there like talk to everyone would.
Okay.
You know,
So in my mind,
Mhm.
here you see we're gonna see the queen bitch, quote unquote, but is behind you.
Yes.
You are facing the audience, the rest of the dead in the room, and Gunnar is beyond the plinth somewhere in line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Off to the side, and he's starting to loosen his sword and his scabbard.
Yes, we hear the audible click of the disengage from the scabbard. Yeah, that resounds throughout the room.
Mm-hmm.
Continue, Thurban.
It's still me, Gunnar. Don't worry. I'm not possessed under his breath yet. He'll put his head down, like I said. He's gonna like look up And he'll kind of like look over the crowd. And once again, this is not out loud. But basically, he is now, he's also not pushing this out because he knows that membrane, that energy is around, but he is essentially mentally hoping for guidance. And he's basically, there's the whole like, you know, he's calling on the monolith. He's calling on he's actually calling a little bit on Carnage because she's in this building, and whatever deity he knows that is known for wisdom and direction. And essentially what he's doing, like I said, this is not pushing outward, but he is basically saying, someone please give me a sign on what to do here. Like I said, he's not actually like pushing his semblance out because he knows that fucking thing's around. And he's also not expecting an answer out of this. It's more just like his own self-reassurance. And he'll look over the crowd again, and he basically, in his mind, and like open mouth but no words come out, he just says, "My apologies, and I hope you are where you need to be." And then he'll actually stand back up, take his hands away. Keep in mind, this is all if nothing actually happens to change this. Just go stand back up, put his hands away. He's actually going to 180, and he is going to look at Queen Bitch.
All right, Queen Bitch.
And he's going to say, this one he's actually going to say out loud. He's saying, "My condolences, my apologies. I hope you are where you need to be, and I hope this does not disturb anything." He will then turn, and he will put his hand underneath the robes and scoop up the robes.
Ah, okay. You pick up the robes. Oh my God. And now I have to read this next part to you. The spirits of countless sorcerers and sorceresses that have come before you, who have worn these robes, look upon you from countless places in realms beyond, across impossible gulfs of time and space. For a few moments, as you take up these robes, they gaze upon you, awaiting your decision, some angered, some expectant, others still curious. As you guys now feel that there are many eyes upon both of you.
Dinar, if I change, or if I turn on you, or if I do anything that you think is explicitly out of my character, cut my fucking head off.
Oh my God.
Rest assured. Before you do anything with those robes, do you want to put your staff down?
No, because that right now is my anchor.
Funny that you bring up the stave. The undead spirit in the staff is just kind of like you don't physically know this, but you have the empathic like,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What you gonna fucking do? Yeah.
Like,
Me.
It's almost like, oh, tag me in. Tag me in. Tag me in.
Is the little girl doing anything?
What little girl?
The one whose spirit infused the staff to begin with.
What do you mean?
Do I not have a piece of her in there?
No.
Yeah, the willow.
Oh, okay.
She is the tree spirit. She can't, if she was gonna put her spirit into the branch that became your stave, the tree would die.
Okay. Never mind then. Redact that.
No, she gave you basically of her body, so to speak, which
Okay.
was the stave. So no, the only entity in there is the ice wraith. We're gonna call it the ice wraith. That
the icy undead that we're unsure of.
yes,
Yeah. So it's basically like expectant almost, I would
well,
guess.
it is like it doesn't know what to think. Like, oh, am I gonna be called up to do something? It's not like at attention, but it's like ready.
Right. And like he's feeling that he'll actually like squeeze the staff a little bit and be like, I hope you're ready for this. And he will keep in mind I have the staff in the one hand, I'm basically holding these robes, and I'll actually put the robes up a little bit so they can actually unfold and we can actually see them in its entirety. And he's just going to take a second and just look at these things. I'm guessing they're fucking immaculately beautiful.
Oh man, it's beautiful. It's
Like, it'll make it,
tenebrous and like silky. It's almost weightless.
yeah, like tailors will weep looking at these things
Right.
in both fear and gratitude.
Right. They will fear and despair.
Mm-hmm.
Like the goth Galadriel outfit. How about that for you? But
Nice.
like unisex robes, goth
Right.
Galadriel. If Queen Bitch behind you was in fact the goth version of Galadriel.
I could see that now. Thank you for that image. I could see that now.
You're welcome here.
Holding these up and then it unfurls. Anything change in the room besides the fact that I feel like I'm being watched from everything?
A couple of the entities who are currently invisible to everyone but you just kind of went,
Yeah. Like, are you gonna put them on?
oh,
Oh, son of a bitch.
oh. Like a couple of them just went, oh.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Fold him back up. No, I'm joking. Fuck around with the spirits a little bit. Fold it back up. Put it back on the plinth. No, we're not going to do that. No.
Jeez. Goddamn.
No, he doesn't do that. Fuck. He'll put on the robes.
He puts on, goddamn, he puts on the robes. Okay.
Yep, he puts on the robes. Oh, this is gonna suck.
They put, all right. They go over your, I don't believe Thurban was wearing armor.
Mm-mm.
But they go on, they go over your traveling clothes. They drape over you beautifully. And to Gunar's point of view, seemingly your companion is like before your eyes transformed into like a dark sorcerer from a fucking fairy tale. Like it speaks to your soul what the image of a dark sorcerer or a dark sage would be in your mind's eye. You're like, oh, that right there, him, that guy. As I'm gonna tell you this: these robes are cursed. They reduce your vitality by 6. They give you a -6 to your conditioning save. They give you a +4 to your occult and a +6 to your spell points. And it also functions like a breastplate, giving you an armor save of 1d8 +4. as well as if you fail a lore test, you can re-roll the first failure.
Okay, hold on. -6 vitality.
I'm just gonna
Minus
send it to
6.
you.
Okay, yeah, do that. I was trying to type it out as you were doing it.
That way we can just keep the game going in character here.
Woohoo!
Now, there are 12 notable apparitions that come into this reality at this time. One of which is actually standing beside you. She is a breathtakingly beautiful, you assume to be a mortal woman. And she is wearing similar fashion of robes to the ones that you just put on. And there are two serpent man sorcerers that are actually standing off to the side, the left-hand side, probably just behind Gunnar at the bottom of the stairway. These apparitions there are a handful more you assume again more sorcerers, these adumbrations, seemingly as you've placed the robes about your person, have come to pay their respects to another member of their esteemed, we'll say, collegiate cabal. There's even a fucking succubus in the room with you. There is an archdemon in the room with you. The arch necromancer and seer Valmestrum is actually here. You've actually heard of him. He's an evil son of a bitch. But well, damn him, he was really fucking good at his job. Sage, seer, and necromancer. But some people say he's irredeemably evil. But if he was paid fairly, he could be reasoned with, and people went to him for auguries all of the time. There are a handful of priests or priestesses of different religions again you're not familiar with. And one in particular, a sorcerer who's not okay, he looks human, okay? But his skin is scarlet red. He's not a primordial, though. He does not have the crown. He has long black hair tied back in a queue, but his hair, or excuse me, his skin is scarlet red.
Like for a second, Turbano look at him like fucking. He's like, oh wait, no, he doesn't have the bone. Never mind.
As soon as you start to mean mug him specifically, he just bows respectfully to you.
Turbano, he'll give a head nod back. It's partial in confusion, partial in respect. I mean, the man bowed to me, give him a nod and affirmation. Yeah, for the moment, Turban's just like flabbergasted at the entourage in front of him or around him now, I should say. What is the Wraith doing in his staff? Like, you fucking did it, you son of a bitch.
So does Vidar just like see him, like look around, and then he's nodding, nothing?
You actually, uh, Gunnar has a 6 in his occult, right?
Yes.
Oh, you can see spirits then. No, you're not alone in this room anymore. No.
Do I see them in the same detail that he does?
Yes.
Because they're just normal spirits. They just got brought out when I put the robes on. So yeah, you
Or
see
they
them all.
manifested in this realm because he put the robes on, yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just watching for any signs of danger or attack.
This entire room's bathed in that blue witch fire, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I know the lamp's not going to come back out right now. I'm going to look at the one next to me, the one that's dressed kind of the same way I am and everything,
He's gorgeous.
right? Um, I'm just gonna look at her for a second because one, yeah, she's fucking gorgeous.
Mm.
And this is gonna sound entirely like a noob question, but he's gonna look at her and be like, "Can you speak?"
She says, of course,
Huh. Okay.
in Feywise.
Yeah. Okay. And then the questions are gonna come out. Who are you? Where are we? Where are we? And what are these?
These are the many sages that have gone before you. Wearing those robes.
And what are these robes besides?
Well, initially they were mine.
And who are you?
I am Tulathle of the Ithnakai, at least the first people of the Ithnakai tribe.
Now, when you said she's beautiful and everything, she doesn't look like the relief behind me on the sarcophagus, right?
Yeah, that's her coffin.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Not saying this part out loud, but can I still feel that membrane?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. And he's actually gonna look back at Gunnar. He's like, she's the first of the Ithnakai? I think I ever met a first of something.
What do I have any like legends or lore about the beginnings of Ithnakai?
Your people came out of the northern plains some ages past, and most of that is like semi-legendary folklore.
But
There
her claim
was
of being the first, that doesn't ring any bells as far as any lore goes.
allegedly there was a queen, and she was either a goddess or a fairy or just a mortal woman who attained semi-deityhood, or something that was plus about her, that almost like demigod-like status there.
I mean, she's got some pluses about her. Don't worry about that part.
Don't you worry, goddamn.
God is damn us all, Jesus.
Yeah. So,
Uh, so I'm assuming the energy about this place is because of these robes, or is there something else down here locked away?
there is a dark power that has festered in Forsaken for quite some time. And we have been down here with the robes as they have been placed by the last sorcerer, Baranor the Black. And she indicates one of the mortal sorcerers across the room,
I was
and
gonna say,
he
is he here?
bows with a flourish. He actually steps forward. He is actually not of the Nakai, he is actually of the Baradath tribe. Well, the hereditary enemy of the Baradath, yeah. He's the Ithnikai, excuse me. To Ganar's people, Baranor the Black is basically a devil figure. Evil sorcerer. He's basically your people's Endukaga, but son of a bitch, damn him, he's already dead.
Yeah, right.
It was either I give Thurban these robes or I give him to Endukaga. So yeah.
Well, I guess this is why we're glad we found it before he did.
What about the ring?
Shh, don't jump narrative. Fucking with you, Terry. Don't worry about it. No, actually, speaking of, he actually he'll bow to the previous owner. And who is the goddess opposite Carnage upstairs?
Carnage.
She had a duality.
You could say that.
What's the ring at her feet in the bowl then?
The
Black
sigh is
silver.
audibly in character. And she and everyone else in the room give you a cross look. If you're going to put on these robes and ask me for all of the answers, we'll kill you here. You are not worthy of these robes. You're just a student. Find the answers for yourself. And don't go after the Astromancer as well as, can he tell me everything? No.
Expecting evil, not attitude. Jeez. Find something that's not written in my history books and just trying to figure out what's going on.
She says to you, looking you dead in the eyes, there's no crying in the occult.
Well, there's no crying if we're all erased from existence either now, is there?
Hop to it then.
Well, then answer me this, because this room's a dead end and we look down the other one. Where's the exit if the other one's snowed in?
Below. From this vantage point, you have to go down to go out.
Okay. He'll step away from the plinth. He'll step down the dais.
When you you get yourselves ready, I assume, to leave, and many of these apparitions just give you a berth respectfully to leave. a couple of them kind of like give Gunnar a like question, like, is he just here with them now? But as you make ready to leave, no, they slowly they they all dissipate. However, the you do catch the succubus in the room that's actually eye banging the absolute shit out of Gunnar. She is not fucking shy about it. She is eating him alive with her eyes.
How you doing?
Right. She just smiles and winks at you. She doesn't say anything, she just smiles and winks.
And I was like, I'll come back for that one later.
All right. No, but we will close the session there for the night, and we'll do closing soliloquies here. Gunnar, take us away, man.
Once again, Gunnar is at awe with what he's seen. I wouldn't say necessarily what he's learning, but what he's seen and understanding, or get at least getting a vibe of the magnitude of becoming a smaller and smaller speck in this universe. um, yeah, the impression with the spirits, um, and how this can potentially tie in with our mission is really what's occupying his mind. Yeah, this is impressive, and I'm glad he got something that could potentially be very valuable to us.
And with Thurban, take us away, man.
He's like, he's slightly perturbed. But I think that's just the bluntness of the lady there at the end. Because no, he doesn't know everything, and this stuff wasn't written down. And but they're all like, "Oh, you just gotta find it yourself." Yes, he knows that, but steps forward. It's fine. It's whatever. Um, he knows that what he's put on, especially after seeing everyone, is of immensity. And if he was in his right mind, or if he was even 3 lifetimes ago, he probably never would have dreamed of putting these things on. But unfortunately, desperate times are calling for desperate measures, and he needs everything he could get to put himself on an even level playing field. Though he's kind of confused now, though, too, because she said you have to go down to get out, but he didn't see any other way down. So now he's wondering if there's something he's missing, if there's something hidden. And he's also now thinking about Carnage and the fact that she actually has two sides to her. And even as much as he doesn't really want to touch anything else, um, he's going to go take a better look at that ring, um, which may or may not start a whole bunch of bullshit on its own, but we'll find out soon. Um, and you would think putting on robes of evil sorcerers would make him feel like would make his mind heavier, or you know would like depress a normal person. It actually doesn't with him. um he understands now, well, he did kind of before, he understands now that what he put on is of an evil make, but his mind is no longer thinking of good versus evil. His mind is now on power versus power, because yeah, these might be stupidly evil items that he has, doesn't mean he has to become evil to use them. He just has to use their power. And he doesn't know what's going to become of him while he's wearing these things. And he'll kind of burn that bridge when he gets to it, probably. But yeah, for now, he's kind of concentrating on probably going back up to that last intersection and going back to that meditation room. And they will figure out what their next steps are.
And with that, we will close the session tonight. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week.